So if someone is a layer farmer and he says a very big egg or big eggs, double yolked, they feel so happy that my birds are good. Hello, that is not actually true. Actually, if your birds are producing double yolked eggs continuously, there is a problem. There is a margin of error that you can have some few 3, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3. So anything that causes stress to the birds compromises your pocket automatically. You'll have money in treatment because the immune system will go down. It's an afternoon this side. I don't know at what time you're actually watching, but good afternoon to you. This is Impact Farming 256, where we learn certain things about poultry farming, livestock, general livestock farming. My name is Dr. Hanif, and I am your guide person today. Now, today we are going to learn about myth, myth about poultry farming. Oba ezimu ku nsobi ezikolebwa, ezimu ku bintu ebimanyikiddwa abalunzi naye nga si bituufu. They seem real, they seem factual, but they are not true. These myths have a lot of consequences that they cause to your poultry farming. They actually cause a lot of things to you. There are very many of them. We shall learn about 10 today. We can break the video into 5, and then you'll see part 2. You'll watch the 5 there and then 5 the other 5 the next time. So those myths are they are very common in actually Uganda here. So farmers actually agree with them, some of them, and they do them, and it impacts a lot on their money. Now, one, the most common one actually in Uganda here is about that the more protein you put in the feed, the faster the growth of the bird. You get the statement, because protein, of course, protein it's for, we used to call it the body growing food or body growing foods, the proteins. We give them to the birds to grow faster. But the more protein doesn't say me that the faster the growth. You get the point. So that is a myth. If your vet or your nutritionist tells that you're supposed to put 5 kilograms of soya in 20 kilograms of maize, please do so. He has done his numbers and knows that this is the ration that fits your bird. Now, if you give 10 kilograms of soya in 20 kilograms of maize, yet you're supposed to put 5. I'm just giving an example of a ration, not actually true, but to just give the picture. This doesn't guarantee that your bird will grow faster. It's actually more problematic. One, because it's economically not right. You're using feed, you're using extra money that you don't actually need. So you're using extra soya that you don't need. So you're wasting a lot of money. And then you end up not making profits. 2, the body of the bird needs a balanced diet. It doesn't need excess of anything. So it is going to especially for the proteins which cannot be stored. So the body will struggle to metabolize all and use only what it needs. The other things will be brought out as waste. Now, you're not only wasting money, but you're also wasting all these nutrients in the waste. Thirdly, your bird may even not grow better than the one who is giving the actual ration, because the body is going to use a lot of energy to remove these waste. The process of excretion is actually one of the most energy wasting. So you have given this bird a lot of amino acids it doesn't need, a lot of soya, a lot of what. So it is going to struggle to excrete them out using energy. This energy is supposed to have, maybe it would have been used to maintain the body temperature, or it would have been used to put on muscle if it is a broiler bird. If it's a layer bird, it would have been used to make the egg. So all the energy which is supposed to be used to make the egg, which is supposed to be used to put on the energy, to put on the weight, is being wasted in excretion of the excess protein that you have given the bird. You get the point. It's not necessarily the same with carbohydrates, because at least carbohydrates, yeah, sometimes the body will transform the excess energy, excess glucose, excess of it into fats, and then the body will, the body will slightly become fatter. But for protein specifically, it is more dangerous because protein excretion is very expensive. It's very expensive in terms of energy. It wastes a lot of energy. So your body will use whatever energy it has to do excretion, and also economic waste plus the protein waste. So you're losing in three. Yet the other person who is using the right ration, one, he's doing it the right way. Two, so he's not wasting money. Two, he's not stressing his bodies with a lot of struggle. And you know, metabolism releases a lot of heat. So you're also stressing the body to even excrete the excess heat that is coming through the metabolism of all these excesses that have to be brought out. You get the point. So if please consult a technical person on what ration you're supposed to use. If he guides you, use that ration the way he has guided you. Then consultants say my birds are not growing the way they are supposed to grow. Or that's why sometimes you find someone buying complete feed, maybe starter from Yuga Chick, complete feed, starter ration, complete feed, grower ration, and then they go an extra mile and buy soya to fix in there. And then they buy all they buy. You see, you can fix in and still you remain in the range of the protein requirement, which is okay. But then the bad thing that you can fix in and then you go above the required range because it has the minimum and the maximum. Please don't do so a lot of maximum because the maximum is very consequential. It will cause a lot of consequences in terms of the three I've told you, the right ration with proteins. The other myth is that they think that that bigger eggs, double-yolked, bigger eggs actually are healthier, or they symbolize healthier chickens. So if someone is a layer farmer and he says a very big egg or big eggs, double-yolked, 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 they feel so happy that my birds are good. Hello, that is not actually true. Actually, if your birds are producing double-yolked eggs continuously, there is a problem. There is a margin of error that you can have some few three, four, 1, 2, 3 double-yolked, but a normal egg, a normal chicken is supposed to give you, a normal hen is supposed to give you 1 yolked egg per 24 to 26 hours around there. So if you are having double yolked eggs, this chicken is going to skip another day because you see the system releases an egg, a yolk after a specific time. So if your bird is doing double yolk, that means that there is a problem somewhere, that this yolk finds the other yolk and they bind together, or you are overgiving the birds in terms of nutrients, and then it causes these double yolks. And then that means that if this bird, for example, is supposed to give you an example, 300 eggs, for example, 300 eggs in its lifetime, it will give you less because it has given you double yolks somewhere, somehow. I don't know, you get me. So struggle so much that you have the right egg size. Please not the right egg size, not so small, but not the jumbo size, not so big. Have the right egg size. Two, manage your nutrition. So a double yolked egg is not an advantage to a farmer. It's an advantage to the consumer because it will be the same price, but now these are 2 yolks and probably an extra egg weight. So you enjoy. But then to the farmer, you're losing nutrients. Two, you're losing an egg itself because this is a double yolked egg. It's supposed to be 2 eggs. So it's not advantage to the farmer. Please get it well. So if you find double yolked, there are reasons. I will do a video of things why that cause birds to give 2 yolks or to do double yolk, but it's not advantage to you. Ensure that your birds are being fed well monitored, and they are giving you single yolked eggs, especially the layer birds. Yes, And even when you're a breeder, of course, for a breeder it is worse because the double-yolked eggs cannot hatch. So if you're having maybe your broilers there, and then you want them to lay, and then they give you the eggs. Of course, these eggs you take them to hatch somewhere, and you sell the chicks. They will not hatch. The double yolk. Actually, the person at the incubator will sort them out and tells you these eggs should be taken back. They cannot hatch because they are double yolked. So double yolk is, to the farmer at any cost, it's a disadvantage. But to the consumer, us who are consuming your eggs, we shall say, Alhamdulillah, bring the double yolk. I want the big ones. If you go for Rolex, and we used to, where we stay in Guyana, there are sometimes those jumbos being sold around. So we always pass by and say, we want the jumbo Rolex with an extra 500. Even the person sees that this egg is big. Yeah. So please, let's emphasize on having the right yolked eggs. Then actually, the other myth is about vaccination. The local farmers and broiler farmers, please, local, broiler, whatsoever birds need vaccination the same way the broiler birds need the vaccines. You get the point? Local, broiler, this even cuts across all animal species. The cattle, the Ankole, the Ntoro, I don't know whether there is also Nsoga cattle, but all the local cattle, they need, all the local species in terms of domestic livestock need vaccines the same way exotic birds need them. Sometimes, because you see, it is actually because farmers don't vaccinate their local birds that we continuously have the shadings of Newcastle and Gomboro, shadings of IB coming up every other time. Every other time. Now, this is what vaccination does. One, when you vaccinate your bird, when the disease comes, the antibodies are already in the body. The antibodies are available. So they will attack the disease as soon as possible. And then your body will actually be safe. Two, you're cutting the spread. Because now if the disease comes to a bird and it's vaccinated, it won't multiply through it to spread to another batch. So you're sure that you're cutting the cycle. So because you have these local birds that are not vaccinated, you're continuously maintaining the cycles within, and the mutations are growing up. So please, if you have local birds, get your Newcastle IB monthly. I like other birds. It is cheap. It's affordable. Get your Newcastle IB monthly. If you can, actually, broiler farmers, please do vaccinate the IB, the Newcastle, the Gomboro, the fall pox, the fall typhoid. As you vaccinate the local, as often the layer exotic ones, even for broilers, the way we vaccinate the broilers, please vaccinate so that you, because you know, when in the village there are times where you have a cycle, especially in the dry season where there is a lot of wind, you find that the whole village, the birds are sick, and you wonder, what's the problem? Because none of them vaccinated. So now when the Newcastle outbreak comes, it beats all of them. When the Gomboro outbreak comes, no bird survives. So let's vaccinate our birds very well, the same way we vaccinate the others. It is actually myth to think that local birds don't actually require vaccination. Those are three. The fourth one now, it's about vaccination still. Farmers actually think that vaccination guarantees 100% protection. No, Nedda. There is a song called No, Nedda. No, vaccination does not actually guarantee 100% of the protection of your chicken. They will still be sick, by the way, at some point if your biosecurity is poor, because they are exposed. The rate at which when you vaccinate your birds, the signs are not as aggressive as when you don't vaccinate. And then the birds will not have high mortality as they will have when they are vaccinated. Sometimes they will not even actually be sick at all. So if your vaccination is effective, your birds will not actually, chances are that the birds will not be sick of that disease. Or if that disease happens, you'll have some issues, but the consequences will not be as high as when you didn't vaccinate. But this can't guarantee 100% of all the birds, because you're not sure whether all the birds have gotten the antibodies or the protection. Some will not have. It's like how we vaccinate FMD. Some cattle will still have, you have one or two that become sick, but not aggressive. You get it. So vaccination guarantees almost 99% of the cases. But if you have a case 1 or 2, it will not be aggressive as it would have been when you didn't vaccinate. It doesn't guarantee 100% protection. So ensure that your biosecurity is still as good as it was when you didn't vaccinate. Don't just bring any person into your flock because you vaccinated. Don't just bring any person, don't just get, you don't have a foot bath. I vaccinated Gumboro. You don't have disinfectant. I vaccinated Newcastle. Anytime Newcastle comes, it can hit you because you don't know whether the strain you vaccinated against is actually what is coming. These things can mutate, so you cannot be sure that what you vaccinated is actually what is coming to your farm. Your biosecurity should be as aggressive as it should be when you don't vaccinate. Fence your farm, protect, ensure that people don't come anyhow. You get it. Have the clothing for inside and for the outside, gumboots inside and outside, and make the money. And you see, with this thing of poultry, those investments actually bring out the cash. You will get the money out. Just get, you see, it sometimes the people are doing the planning for you during farm setup don't actually tell these things. They want to make it very cheap and affordable for that you don't put a lot of money, and then it comes out, and then at the end of the day it doesn't come out. Please, why do you have why do you have to have one pair of gumboots for every worker? You have 5 workers, you have 10,000 birds. 10,000 birds, we are talking about 130 million or more if it is broilers. And then we are talking 10,000 birds for layers, we're talking about almost 300 million plus. And then you do not have, you can't afford 2 pairs of gumboots each worker. There is a problem with the planning, because when the disease comes to your farm, it takes those millions in a day. You can end up losing, you can end up not having, you can end up having egg reduction from maybe 95 to 50 in 3 days. And this is a lot of money, and taking it back is very complicated, just because you did not vaccinate your flock in time. So let's ensure that we do vaccinate, and then also be conscious that vaccination does not actually give 100% of protection sometimes. Yeah. Then actually the people who believe that I actually, however, witnessed this with one of my farmers, that when they make the husks dirty and wet, it makes the chicken stronger. I've witnessed it myself with one of my clients. So she had made the thing was watery, the birds were uncomfortable, and she was telling me no, and very squeezed, that when you squeeze the broilers more, make them uncomfortable, they grow faster because they don't move around. Oh, now a dirty chicken house, same like a wet one, is more problematic than good. You're increasing chances of having coccidiosis in your farm. You increase the chances of you're stressing the birds, so the weight gain will be low. Production will go low. As long as the birds are stressed, production goes low. So the production levels eggs will go down because the birds are stressed. Please, stress is not only a disease of rich people. Stress is also a disease of birds. We are continuously talking about mental health. Our birds need mental health. If you stress them, the eggs will not come, the meat will not come. They are very, 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 very conscious with mental health. Ensure that they are well ventilated, they are not stressed. Stress is a disease of rich people. Even birds, they are stressed if you stress them. So anything that causes stress to the birds compromises your pocket automatically. You'll have money in treatment because the immune system will go down and the birds can become sick anyway. And then you'll also have consequences with the, sometimes you even start, you get ammonia burns in the feet, and then these are more like wounds, eh? And then these wounds will bring in pathogens or worms or whatsoever. Okay, they will bring in pathogens or bacteria that will cause the bird to have joint pain, and then the bird will not move well to feed, and then you don't have the weight. Remember, when we are doing in poultry, it's about how much you can produce through the bird. That's why we go for that's why you opt to go for a layer bird and don't go for a local to give you eggs. Even the local lays eggs, but the rate at which it lays, the conversion ratio, the FCR in terms of productivity is higher. So you want the bird that can convert faster. It gives you the egg or it gives you the meat, and then it is giving you higher numbers. So please, let's have the place well ventilated, clear, clean, and okay. Give them enough space. Let them play around. Let the birds have a good time, and they will give you what you want. Yeah. Then second last, in terms of the myths that are done by poultry farmers, farmers actually think that mixing birds of different ages or breeds is actually fine and good. So you find a poultry house with a broiler of 5 weeks and a broiler of 2 weeks. As long as the brooding is done, they mix the birds together. So you just bring the 2 weeks ones, you bring the ones of day 0, they reach 2 weeks, you throw them to the ones of 5 weeks, because they are not, their past brooding nutrition is the same. It is not fine. Birds of the same ages should stay together to avoid disease spread and other consequences. Even birds of the same age, different size, should be sorted, because there is that hierarchical kind of feeding in birds actually. The big ones don't want the smaller ones to feed, so they will first feed before the smaller ones, and then you're having issues on them. There is that system in birds where the male ones or the more energetic ones cannot actually favor the small ones. So they will be eating only the remains, and then they will remain small. So you need to sort. Now, if that is on the birds of the same age, how about when they are different ages? You're compromising them. They will not eat. So these other ones will eat their feed. But two, you don't have to mix them, because there are certain diseases that would be endemic, or they are normally available in the other birds and are not causing any issue to them, but they can cause issues to the birds of the young flock. You get it? Then the vaccination schedules are not the same, for example. So you don't have to vaccinate, you don't have to come and pick them out, vaccinate IB, put them back, and then come back the other day and pick the others. So you're going to spread that IB into these other birds. So birds of different ages, not even, actually, even if you were a broiler farmer, would want all in, all out, so that you continuously clean, have another cycle, clean, have another cycle, and then you are good to go. So you don't have to mix different ages of birds or sizes in the same poultry house. I'm just hitting on them so that we don't expand. Those who are new on this YouTube channel, please subscribe, follow us, comment, tell us what you think, and then we can actually start from there. We can do more of these things, of these videos. We can do a farm visit, we check you and see how we can help one another, and we make the money together. Yeah, we make the money together. Then last one, it's about the death. Farmers call it mortality rate, mortality ratio. It's not true that all death, all mortality at the farm is caused by disease. Okay, that is not true. some of the mortalities are not disease related. So don't rush for an antibiotic or a medication every time there is death. My clients actually know that. They know. My clients know it. We need to first investigate what is the problem. We do this, check you, and find out what's the problem. Because antibiotic is a cost that may not even sell to the bird. We have had a lot of cases where the farmer, it's about ventilation, the brooder is overcovered, the farmer thinks that they have Seneca. And then they pump the antibiotics because the drug shop person is telling them to buy the antibiotic. You know, you have found issues where it's about husks, they are moldy, and the bird is having respiratory aspergillosis, and the molding is still there. So you pump the antibiotic, but when you have not removed the cause, it can even be water, that water. Sometimes the death can even just be normal mortality. Someone stepped on it, maybe it suffocated because there was a problem with temperature, and then the birds covered it when they are trying to warm themselves and it died, and then you think, hey, my bird is dying, I need to work on to give treatment. But when it is about temperature, so it can be a ventilation issue, it can be temperature, it can be environment issue, it can be normal mortality. The boy stepped on it and he didn't tell you. Check the bird and see. You said the intestines are out. Now which disease causes the intestines to come out? Someone stepped on it and the thing is out. The head is crushed. Maybe they are closing the door and they crush the head. You see? So some of the mistakes can happen, accidents, but it can even be nutritional. When your feed is maybe having toxins, or maybe it is aflatoxins or whatsoever, it's moldy feed. So it's not that everything is about disease, get an antibiotic, treat. It's a pathogen, antibiotic, treat. Investigate the cause of the death of your birds at the farm. Okay? So thank you very much for listening. We end there. We shall do another video sometime to come, and then we'll give you the other myths. There are very many of them. As I find them, I'll be sharing them with you. Please subscribe, follow, and comment. Ask questions we shall actually follow through. Thank you. Bye-bye.